And finally, we have Sea Beast for the Vortex, and Sea Beast at 5 stars is a 5/8 with the ability of -4 opponent power, minimum 4. So, Sliffy, what is your initial thoughts on this very kind of controversial, but at the same time quite beastly card?
I didn't realize this card was controversial because he's a true hero.
You see what we did there?
Yeah.
You see what we did there?
Kind of added that in.
That's why I call a plug, you know?
Yeah, a plug. That implies we're selling something.
It does, but then we're not really. So
Yeah. Back to my review thing. Sea Beast is a pretty great card. I don't think many people are going to deny that. 8 damage is great. It's always great. 8 is the magic number, as I always say. 5 power is okay, especially considering the fact he has a -4 off power ability. The thing I kept noticing when I played Sea Beast a lot was that he activates a lot of forks. Nobody wants to take that damage. And this is true with the leader of the Vortex as well. Something I noticed more for Sea Beast for some reason. I think they play very similarly in that case. Because of the fork, you have the defeat thing going, which is very nice to have, because if you lose, you get your pills back. At the same time, though, if you need to win with Sea Beast, that defeat is not very helpful in any way. And Sea Beast has a major flaw. One, SOA hurts him a lot, which I think goes without saying. But the major flaw is he's also weak to attack manipulation, kind of like Hylas was. And while, Hylas could defeat it, Sea Beast has a much lower, or much higher min compared to Hylas. So I don't think they're a very good comparison.
Yeah, I mean, with Kylus, you could save him to the end of the game and still rape everyone at like 12, because the fact that he did have so many pills left over that even if your opponent had 12 pills on a certain card or whatever with attack manipulation, he would still lose to Kylus because of the minimum.
Like Kylus is like, the main thing was, one, he protected his ability with his protection. That by itself is a big advantage. Like, protectability is way more important in this case than defeat is, even though defeat is very nice. But the other main thing is his min was 2, which is really low, which allowed him to beat cards like From Montana, From Rescue and stuff, even with the attack manipulation on the field. For Sea Beast, he only has a min. The difference between the min and his normal power is 1, which that's just fine. There's nothing wrong with that if you're fighting without attack manipulation. But if attack manipulation is on the field, that still gives him a huge disadvantage most of the time.
Yeah, underneath it all, really, Sea Beast is generally just slightly better than Slimen, really, from the Piranhas.
If you really think about it that way, yeah.
But if you think about it that way, then he is. But he is, in my opinion, slightly more better than that, actually, really. But he's kind of like a 5-star version of Oshitsune. Although Oshitsune does have the SOB, which is a slightly more useful bonus in this case, really. Because against
him. But don't forget, like Hylas, he's usable a 4-star, and he's a really good 4-star. I think he might be as good as Dag. But that's just crazy talk now.
Yeah. But Sea Beast is interesting though, because even against SOB, he still retains his 8 damage, so you could still get some forks out of that. I have got a fork out of that once before, but the only issue is it's still 5 power. It's really
you mean SOA?
It's hard to do. Yeah, against SOA, you can still generate forks with the giant power, but even then, your opponent most likely will be able to get out of that fork with ease, really. But so there you go. But unfortunately, when I tried to bluff with Seawing, it really went badly. So I definitely don't bluff with this card. This is a kind of a nuke card. This is the card you put all your pills on, pretty much. But yeah, he's a very good card though. Also, with Seawing, Seawing as once again with Dragon. If you did Seawing and then Fury Dragon, then you win the game. It's the same thing with Seablade because of the 8 damage and all that. So keep that in mind. But do you think that he is the best 5-star out of all the Vortex 5-stars?
I personally don't. I still like the leader of the Vortex better, mainly because, and I'm going to get a lot of flack about this probably, but if I'm fighting SOA, which is the main problem with both the cards, that's their main weakness, I'd rather have an 8/4 personally than a 5/8, because while the 5/8 can win the game, if your opponent is saving their SOA, they're probably going to defeat your 5/8. It might take a lot of mind games and planning on their part, but they're still going to probably beat that 5/8 eventually. An 8/4 can still win battles. There's nothing wrong with 8 solid power, and an 8/4 will probably be victorious. While 4 damage isn't a lot, you're still in the game if you do 4 damage. If you lose a 5/8, you don't do any damage. Don't forget. So,
Yeah, it's just kind of safer, I suppose, really, with the 8 damage, really, in that sense. But I mean,
Hit or miss.
but what about Offglin though? Are we going to forget about Offglin?
Opglin is still a good card. Don't get me wrong, but I still think Sea Beast, with Sea Beast and Leader of the Vortex in the game now, practically in Elo, I don't really see a reason to use Opglin personally. But maybe they'll have a new Survivor thing and everyone will be happy.
Awesome. All right. But what was I going to say? I mean, do you think it's a good idea to pair off Sea Beast with Dragon? Maybe.
If you can fit the star, yeah, but it's definitely a good combo. They both basically do a virtual and imaginary world land 8 damage, and 8 damage is a great number because it's. I said 8 is probably the best damage in the game, excluding 12.
I mean, just imagine though, Sea Wing plus Sea Beast plus Dragon. Your opponent is going to be screwed whatever he does, I think.
Especially if they have like a 4 damager too, like a Rob or something.
Yeah.
If you can somehow fit that.
But yeah, anyway. So I mean, literally, I think there's nothing really more to say. Really, I mean, what would you give Sea Beast out of 10?
I'd still probably give him a 9, maybe 9.5 even, but something around a 9 out of 10. He's a great card. He has, like, as I said, he has a lot of flaws, though. He's not as solid as, in my opinion, Leader of the Vortex. Because, as I said before, SOA hurts him. Power manipulation hurts him. That's, the power manipulation better than him, like Tula and Platinum. Attack manipulation hurts him. And SOB can be an annoyance, but it's not that bad. But at the same time, he has 8 damage. He's usable at 4-star. He, without any support, he beats any 8 powered cards, basically, pill for pill. So he's a massive tank, and he's a great card overall.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with him. I mean, he's just a tank, really. Unfortunately, the unstableness against SOA might affect my review a little bit, but he is still, the 8 damage, still pretty amazing. I mean, although underneath it all, he maybe not even as good, maybe some people might say he's not as good as Sliman, maybe. Well, maybe just slightly better than Sliman underneath it all. But at the same time, though, I mean, he is a very good card for the Vortex. And Vortex, they seemingly have been releasing quite a lot of 5-star cards. So maybe they're going to be like the next Jungo, maybe, as we said. So for that reason, I would probably give him like a 9, maybe an 8.5 out of 10, maybe. So he's a good card, pretty good. I wouldn't say as good as Dragon, maybe. But then both of them in your hand or in your deck or whatever, it sounds like a good idea, I think. Just before we go, actually, do you think that there will ever be a seesaw?
Seesaw would be amazing, especially if it looks like a seesaw. That would be cool.
He has a... that'd be quite funny if they ever released like a joke card or whatever. Seesaw.
A crystal seesaw. Yeah, a crystal seesaw.
A crystal seesaw. So there you go. But anyway, that's it. That's it for UR Talk. As always, thank you to all the people who help us with UR Talk, especially White Dragon and RB Prince and all that, and all the people who watch these videos. And if you're still one of those people who just watches these videos but isn't actually subbed to Urban Rivals News, then you're a bad person. You should be subbed. Create an account. It takes like 2 minutes or 2 seconds to just basically do that, and then you can sub it, and you basically get...
What 1984 means is keep watching our videos. Good for you, you amazing hero, you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what he really meant by that.
Because, I'm a true hero,
You're a true hero.
That's a new catchphrase. We kind of forced a catchphrase,
I don't like that catchphrase still. Just saying.
Okay. Well, what's your catchphrase going to be then?
Well, we'll let the fans decide as we keep going. Okay.
Okay. But yeah, that's it for UR Talk. As I said, we'll see you hopefully next week if we're doing nothing. Hopefully, but until then, I'll see you guys all later. This is Neepso12 and
this is Slippy computer generating goodbyes.
Signing out.